are stories that connect us to ourselves and each other. These stories reveal who we are and show us the many vivid, wild colors of our truth. Welcome to Soul Wanderings, where we raise spiritual awareness and foster connections through these shared stories and personal experiences. And now, exclusively on KGRA Radio, I give you your host for Soul Wanderings Radio. Here's AJ.
Hello, happy day, friends. It's Soul Wanderings Night, where we receive an opportunity to hear journey stories from humans from all walks of life and all types of experiences. And these humans show up to share authentic pieces of themselves with all of us. I am AJ Rasmussen, your host. Hello, hello. So delighted to be here with you once again. I just want to share a few things right now, and I'll share a few things at the end of the show so you're in the know. But just to share, tonight will be my last live show of the year. I have an amazing pre-record ready for you next week with Dr. Gary Sawyer. He's a returning guest, and he'll be sharing ways with you to navigate your relationship through this COVID pandemic. And it really was an awesome time hanging out with Gary. I highly encourage you all to listen to this new episode that will be airing next Wednesday, December 23rd. I also have a replay following, and this is not something I really care to do. I pride myself in consistently having live shows. However, I will be taking the next 2 weeks off from the show to spend time with my son. He will be home for winter break from the Army. Excuse me. It's almost been a year since I've seen him face to face. And so, of course, I want to be spending every single stinking moment that I can with him, especially because I don't know when I'll be able to see him again. He got his orders this week, and he'll be venturing off far and away. So first, a huge thank you to all of you for your support this year and your patience and understanding with the last 2 weeks of the year. But I am so excited to come back first thing January 6th of the new year with brand new live shows. I'm already booked clear into April. So it's going to be really fun. And you guys, guess what? My show will now be on video. So you'll be able to tune in live and hang out with myself and guests. You'll get to see our faces. But yeah, the new year is promising here on KGRA, and I hope you are all along for the ride. So many new shows across the board, a plethora of chatting that you can listen to and be a part of, and be sure you are up to date, and you can do that by visiting kgradb.com. Now, friends, it's time. It's our night with Misty Rose Merck. Misty receives information spiritually and intuitively, and this information is received as thoughts, feelings, emotions, pictures, and angels. And when Misty is here with us, we open the phone lines just after the first break for intuitive readings. Anyone can call in. You don't even have to know why you're calling. If you feel a prompting to do it, I recommend that you do it. These evenings are specifically for you to receive a gifted reading from Misty, and there are messages waiting, and you'll receive those messages when you call in this evening or even listen. I always offer these words of advice before you call in. Have an open heart and have an open mind. Misty does her best work when she can connect with you when you're in a space that you are ready to receive. And some call in with questions, but as I always share, my favorite way to receive messages is having her read my energy in that space that I'm currently in. It just really allows the opportunity for messages that are meant for me to come in and be shared. And I also feel she's able to share more that way. And it leaves me in a place that I have no expectations. I don't need anything other than what I get to receive. So my friends, be open and call in tonight. And when you get through, enjoy the moment. It's a really neat moment to have with Misty. And for those of you who decide you're not going to call in, it's totally okay. I do hope you stick around and listen, because even though she is giving readings to other people, I always find that I learn something from each and every one. And I feel like you would too. Okay, Wanderers, if you decide you want to call in, the number you'll be calling in for that gifted reading with Misty is 85KGRA live. So that's 855-472-5483. And we'll be opening up those lines just after the first break. So until then, hello, Misty. Welcome back.
Hi. It's good to be back. I'm excited. I'm always excited about this. One of my favorite days of the whole month. Takes too long to get here, over too fast, kind of like Christmas.
Oh, are you a fan of Christmas?
I love Christmas. I have been known to torture my children with Christmas music in July.
Oh, no. You're one of those.
And I sing out loud in the car very loudly.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Life is
goodness.
too short to live any other way.
Well, I am not the biggest fan of Christmas. Obviously, with my announcement, this year will be a lot different. I'm really excited about that. My best friend is obsessed with Christmas, and I've had to, we've known each other since we were 13, and I've grown up with her obsessing over Christmas, like from October on.
I don't have an obsession. I have wow, these are all of the really great things I did growing up with my mom as a kid, as a family for Christmas. My mom had a tradition of buying Brock's mixed candies and making Christmas ornaments with tissue paper and foil.
Yes, I remember
And
those.
then we got to decorate the tree, and I learned based off of the shape just about which one would be inside. So I'd hide my favorites inside the middle of the tree or in the back places I think it wouldn't go missing if it, be noticed if it went missing. And then we proceeded to pick the tree bear. But, it's, for me, it's not presents. I love presents. I'll take presents, but it's the feelings. It's all about the feeling hope, feeling kindness, feeling love. It's the memories. It's the excitement that I felt as a kid, the excitement I see in my children's eyes. So, it's perspective, because
Definitely.
I know there's some people, and you're lucky if there's a square foot in their house that doesn't have something in it, on it, or on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's not me. But I enjoy what I do, and
You like the spirit of Christmas.
I love the spirit and magic of Christmas.
Mm-hmm. See, you're making me feel all tingly, like maybe I need to look at it differently. Actually, Christmas really is a beautiful time of year, because you get to witness people giving and caring about people they don't know more than you would on a normal day-to-day basis. And I love that part of Christmas, and really believe the essence of Christmas is that love foundation. Of course, the commercialization of everything really puts a damper on it, and the pressures and the stress and the depression and all the things that you also witness.
Yeah.
And so it's a bittersweet experience, no doubt.
It's a shadow to the light.
Yes, exactly.
A shadow to the light, and that's life.
Yep.
And then at the end of the day, shadow can serve a purpose in showing what's important and helping you understand how much you can appreciate and enjoy the light.
Yes, a reminder. All those little reminders.
Definitely.
Well, 'tis the season. We're only a couple of weeks away. And
9 days.
I'm really glad that you're here and get to spend time with us before that big day. It's always a gift and a pleasure to have you here. And this year, like I said earlier, always does bring a little bit of heaviness around.
It can.
And that, with a mix of this entire year and how it's been with a pandemic and all of the things that come along with that, people are wondering. They're wondering, what are we supposed to do with everything that's happening? And what's our future going to look like? And all of those questions that come up because of this chaos that is the world today. So to switch gears a little bit, because it is the end of the year and we are going into a new year, how would you feel about sharing some messages with us for what's to come, or what energy you see coming towards us? What is the collective feeling at this time?
So for myself, I've been feeling very strongly to get ready, be prepared for change. And I've talked to some other people who are very gifted themselves, and there's a theme. Everybody feels prompted to be ready in their own way, but other people are also feeling that. And sometimes change isn't always smooth, and it's not always pretty. So I feel a feeling of quick change. Things kind of really, I don't know how to say this, but what I feel for myself is a sensation of moving along and being very clear that change is necessary. Change is not just needed, but vital to improving quality of life, vital to creating what we really want instead of what we settle for. And with that, the way I've described it to some people, when you're going in and redecorating a room, when you first start, it isn't pretty. That room looks a mess. It looks like a train wreck. And it's sometimes a slow, tiresome process. But as you stay committed to what you're trying to create, after a while, you start to see things coming together, the work paying off, and the shift and the change you wanted happening, and then it's finished. And yes, we didn't necessarily like the manual labor, painting the walls and hauling the heavy furniture around or out and making adjustments. But when it's done, we feel great. We love it. We're happy. And so it's about understanding 2020, I've heard it so many different times in so many places about it. 2020's hindsight. And I know a lot of people on this show, if you listened to me before, have heard me speak about hindsight and how hindsight's it's a tool, and it's designed to help support us on our journey. But oftentimes we use it like a beating stick. We take our hindsight, what we learned from going through experiences, and we beat ourselves up about what we should have done, what we could have done, what we didn't do, how we should have done it better. We didn't know what we didn't know until we got there and went through it. And then the knowledge of that hindsight is to use the next time, do it better the next time, improve as we move forward. And that's how it's like a walking stick helping us traverse the path that we're on in life. But oftentimes we use it to beat ourselves up. And this year we've seen that. We've seen people not only in self beat up, but beating each other up. Mm-hmm. This year, as things have gotten so chaotic and people's positions and opinions have become very polarized, meaning there's a lot of opposites.
Yes.
And something that surfaced is a counter culture or a cancel culture where, because we disagree, stop being friends on Facebook, just defriend me, don't talk to me anymore, to the point where, people are losing jobs because they just have a differing opinion. And I think what I'm trying to say is 2020 has given us a lot of insights and hindsight. It's shown us things that don't work in our culture, It's shown us things that have been lying on the sides of life, like human trafficking, child sex, pornography, and abuse of power, abuse of relationships, abuse of people. We've become very clear. 2020 has shown us in very clear, delineated, lined out ways of what isn't working, what needs to stop, and in learning what doesn't work. It can be a wealth of information for what we want. It can be a wealth of information for what can work. But it's all about focus. Are we going to take that information and beat each other with it? Or are we going to take that information and be motivated to create the world where we can agree to disagree? We can come together and be very passionate and caring about our stance and our opinion and perspectives, but in a way that's honoring and respecting all life and each other. So I feel change coming. How that change unfolds at the end of the day, God, Creator, universe, is desiring great positive change for us, but we have a choice. We have a say. What are we going to stand for? What are we going to be a voice for? What are we going to contribute? And as a people, the majority has a large voice. What are we going to create? Are we going to continue to create more of what doesn't work in bigger, better ways? Or are we going to be willing? I love the way Elizabeth Gilbert says it in Eat, Pray, Love. If we're willing to face some uncomfortable truths about ourselves, then what we desire cannot be withheld from us. But viewing those truths not from self-beat up, not from self-hatred, not from good, bad, right, and wrong, and shame and blame and guilt, but viewing those truths from unconditional love, viewing those truths from a place of neutrality, that what can I learn? How can I use this to move forward to what I do want? So I feel change, the change we want as individuals, the change we want as people is just choosing it, and it's right in front of us. And it's not something that has to be 100 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years down the road. It's something that we can start choosing now. And it's in the everyday little things we're doing. Like Mother Teresa, she said it's doing the small things that bring the great things. And I'm paraphrasing. So it's change is coming. What that change looks like is up to us. And we're way more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. There's no small people, small parts, or small roles in life. And we're all on the path of life, walking our unique journey, but we're all on the same path together. Separation is an illusion. We've seen that in 2020. This has been a global experience. So we're becoming very clear how connected we really are. We've become so disconnected. We're becoming so clear how connected we really are. And each person matters. Who we are matters. What we want matters. What we contribute matters. I feel like 2021 is a catalyst to self-love. It's a catalyst to, when we love ourselves, we have so much more to bring to the table, to the human table, and what we contribute is more powerful.
That resonates deeply with what I've been feeling and what I feel coming up for us. Do you obviously have heard of the Christmas star that's going to be occurring on December 21st on winter solstice.
Mm-hmm.
No coincidence.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk going around with different types of people in the spiritual community, astrologists, all kinds of things, about how this conjunction will take us from a third dimensional way of being to a fifth dimensional way of being, which is why everything has been occurring in the 2020 because of this moment.
Portals of energy have been opening up all year long.
I'm going to say, what do you feel about that?
Portals of energy have been opening up all year long. Catalysts of change and energy to uplift, motivate, as well as getting little shifts of energy.
Yes.
So one of the ways that I've described it is throughout time, you can see we've had shifts where there was a boost to humanity. And they happened gradually over many years. Then less years, and then it became yearly. And this past year of 2020, I have felt the shifts happening monthly, several times a month. And it's not that it wasn't happening more rapidly the year before, but this year it's just been back to back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like standing in the ocean and having one big wave after another come.
Yes.
So
that's
that
how
there's
it feels. Yes.
exactly energetic waves, almost to the point where you can barely catch your breath before the next wave comes. Mm-hmm. And so it's felt very roller coaster ride.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel all of that for anybody who's been willing to let go of things and embrace that maybe they're better than they think they are, that their lives have more potential than they dreamed possible. For people who were willing to step into a realm of possibilities, those boosts were bigger and more intense. For people that were in a lot of resistance, because I still feel the universe honors and respects where we are, and it's not going to crush us to death. So the shifts were happening, but through our feelings about everything and our own resistance, they weren't as impactful or as powerful as potentially able. And so not that it still can't be taken advantage of, but it's just, there's buffers of self-protection for us. And that's kind of how I've experienced it when we've, when we can't handle the load, more isn't going to get shoved on us. But as a people, there are a lot of people who've been awakening. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people who have been increasing in their awakening, and the energy has been increasing. Gifts and talents that people have had, it's been increasing sensitivity, emotional sensitivity, which is why we see a lot more people feeling emotionally out of control this year, because they were already struggling with emotions, and now it's become more intense. So yes, there's just been a lot of energetic shifts going on, and they're going to continue, but I feel kind of like riding a wave into 2021 where there's going to be, I don't want to call it a lull, but where the wave carries you.
Okay, let's stop there. That's a great place to stop. If you guys are interested in a reading, we're opening up the phone lines just after the break. You can call 85-KGRA Live. That's 855-472-5483. We'll be right back.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
A birthday without her mom. An anniversary without her husband. Her wedding day without her dad. These are the days when military families feel it most of all. The loss of their soldier, their sailor, their airman, their Marine, their Coast Guardsman. Families never forget their loved ones lost to war or illness or suicide. Families never forget, and neither do we. We are TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. We provide resources, support, and comfort to heal the hearts and meet the needs of grieving military families, all at no cost to them. Your generosity can make an enormous difference in the lives of the families of our fallen military heroes. Our military families need to know they are not alone and they are not forgotten. Show them your support at taps.org.
Welcome to the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. Here you'll find great new content, including the KGRA Classics, great shows from our archives. You'll be able to see the show times and information so you can see what show is currently on air. The on-air live button. So just go to this section and you'll be able to hear the show live with exceptional sound quality. We also have the vault section. Make sure to subscribe to get access to great content and special features. We have the make content for our latest news and events, so make sure to sign up and you can be part of our forum. So make sure to check out the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. We look forward to seeing you there, and we hope that you enjoy the new website.
For the thousands of wounded warriors returning from battle, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to a civilian job. These extraordinary men and women bring more than just teamwork and inspiration to the workplace. They bring proven world-class job skills. And to ensure proper placement, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right job fit. Talented, skilled, and eager to get back to work, you have the opportunity to hire a seasoned veteran. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Mainstream media's most wanted. KGRAradio.com.
Hello, welcome back to Soul Wanderings, heard here on KGRADB.com. KGRA Radio. Welcome. I'm AJ Rasmussen, your host, and tonight we are hanging out with Misty Rose Merck. She is our guest who visits every 4 to 5 weeks or so. She's an intuitive, and she receives her information spiritually and intuitively as thoughts, feelings, emotions, pictures, images, and angels. And she spends time with us. We open up the phone line, so if you are interested in a reading, a little mini gifted reading here on air tonight, you'll want to call 85 KGRA live. And that number is 855-472-5483. And the phone lines are now open, Wanderers. So we're going to hang out and wait for your calls. We still have more stuff that Misty can share. Before the break, you were talking about how when we get into 2021, the waves aren't going to be as aggressive. They're actually going to do one big wave and kind of push us a little further before another wave comes.
I feel more like it's a... Well, it also depends on how we engage with it. I feel like the energy can carry us in, like leaving this year, coming into the next. It can carry us into the year. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the way a wave can carry you to the shore. Or we can feel we're stuck in turbulent waters because it's a wave. Mm-hmm. It depends on our response. It depends on if we're open and embracing or if we're in resistance.
Well, with anything in life, right?
Definitely. But more so because we've seen a lot of things being challenged and stripped away. And as things are shifting and changing the way that they are, we're invited to let go of things. And our resistance to letting go can really cause that feeling of drowning. Mm-hmm. But if we're willing, like I said, to face some uncomfortable truths about ourselves as individuals and as a people, then I love the way she says it. You know, what we desire can't be withheld from us.
Mm-hmm. That was a really profound line in that book and then movie when she shared that. It was like an aha for me. That entire book was just really well written. But that moment where you realize that everything is in my control. Everything. And I am designed to have everything.
It's, for me, I think it's everything that we choose to feel, think, and say and do is in the realm of our control. Mm-hmm. There are some external things. Everybody has an influence on everyone else.
But how you react.
Yes, our response is always the realm of our control. Mm-hmm. Life isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. But those are perspectives. You know, I love the way Einstein said there's two ways of living. Either everything is a miracle or nothing is. And I'm a miracle person. There's magic in the air person. So it really is. I really feel that if we're willing to be uncomfortable, we're going to be able to create some magic in this world.
How do you feel we get there? How do we become uncomfortable so we can create that said magic?
Well, we're already uncomfortable.
Right.
But can we stop resisting it? Can we embrace it? Can we see it as a gift? Can we ask the questions? What is this teaching me? What is it here to show me? How is this directing me towards something better? What is the good that this is directing me towards? Lots of times when we're uncomfortable, we want the discomfort to stop. Mm-hmm. And we start doing everything to make it go away without really looking at why it's here.
Mm-hmm. Why am I uncomfortable? Mm-hmm. Why is this making me feel A, B, or C?
Mm-hmm. We've been in avoidance for many years to the point that we became very,
very numbed out,
isolated. Yes. We created a deeper level of perceived separation. Because separation is an illusion, but we created the perceptual experience of such separation that it was deep isolation. Yeah. Technology had developed in such a way that a person no longer had to leave their home to engage with others. And so we had a lot of
the great disconnect began.
Exactly.
Yes.
We had the illusion of togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
And people started feeling more and more alone, more and more separate. So what we did is we dove into the experience of separation to such a degree that we really learned it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Because suicide went up, addictions went up. Things, crime has been going up. All of these things that stem from disconnect, disharmony, the illusion of separation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this pandemic has very clearly shown us how connected we are in so many unperceived, minute ways that we couldn't have perceived before.
What do you mean how connected we are? In what way do you mean that?
Well, we're here in the U.S. We're in this country, that's that country, and it's easy to ignore maybe third world poverty or unclean water or high child mortality rates because that's that country.
Mm-hmm.
That's the us and them mentality. So there was a feeling of that's so far away. What can I do? We even felt helpless. What could I possibly do?
Mm-hmm.
How could I do how could my little effort of giving baby blankets make any difference? Way over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's shown us that way over there is way closer than we think.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
In that way, I was curious how you would mean that. You could look at it in so many ways. The connection that, I should say, the disconnection is what I see. I understand like the distance feels closer, but I see a separation of people, and I see a disconnect in a lot of ways from one another because of our differences. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not that I'm looking for it. It's just an observation. It's very present that's occurring.
The polar opposites.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I see a big divide occurring, and it's all over the place. It's unfortunate what's happening. But I also know in my heart and with my intuitive side that there's going to be some great shifts in the most magnificent positive way.
Yeah, definitely. That's something else that I feel is coming. I feel like get ready, as in be prepared for anything. Just as in, as things shift, a lot of upheaval can occur,
Yes.
Disorganization can occur, different things like that. Get ready. But the other thing that follows that first feeling of get ready, be prepared, is something amazing, something great is happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feeling that I feel.
Good. I love that you feel that way. Because it's easy right now to get in a place where you don't see that or feel that. And you have hope that that is what's going to occur, because after the storm is the calm. And then you have the validation of what you're feeling, what I'm feeling. Several other people are feeling it. It's really exciting and exhilarating, a little scary all at the same time.
The skies are so much clearer, cleaner, and bright after a good rainstorm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of clear skies, we have some callers on the line. Are you ready, my darling?
Definitely.
Okay. First of all, we'd like to bring in Ronald from Minnesota. Welcome back to the show, Ronald.
Hey, AJ. How you doing? And Misty, Merry Christmas to you guys. Or to you ladies.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sad I'm going to miss you for the next couple of weeks, but I think we'll get through it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really didn't want to, but I'm really excited for my reason.
Yep, I know. That's good. Very good reason. I'm glad you get to spend some time with your son. So,
thank you.
And then you'll have to give us all a report later.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Misty.
Do you have a question for Misty
here
tonight?
Yeah, she could do a general reading. She talked to me before, but maybe she has some different news at this point.
Okay. Hi, Ron. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for sharing that with me. So I don't remember what I shared with you before. Just know that if I repeat anything, it's still relevant in some way, okay?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, Ron, you have a very caring energy. There's a lot of love in your heart. But sometimes it feels like how you want to express how you feel is not always communicated in a way that's clearly understood on the other side for the person that's receiving. So what I'm going to invite you to do is sometimes when you're wanting to speak on things that are important, like important relationships and important conversations in relationships, you're definitely a logic, like you're really great with logic, but you're not always comfortable on speaking on some deep emotions. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So what I feel is I just feel like I don't know if there's been different emotional experiences or maybe some things of the past that have kind of been coming to your mind lately. But I just feel to share that as you go to speak with people that you're in relationships with, sometimes you're getting lost in your thoughts of what you think to say, and the message isn't connecting with that person. So I'm going to invite you, before you engage in those kinds of conversations, to just sink into your heart, as in allow yourself to connect with your heart and then go speak from that place. And people are going to be more open and receptive to the things that you want to have the conversation, what you want to share with them. Does this make sense?
I like that. Yeah, very much. Yeah.
In that case, remember, a lot of times people forget the exact words we said, but they remember how we made them feel. And so, because when you get in your head talking, when you're talking from your head space, people can't feel how much you care. And then because of the emotional disconnect, the message isn't reaching them. What you desire to convey isn't reaching them. They're not getting it. If you just do a little prep work before the conversation to get yourself heart-centered, get yourself connected to your emotions, then you're going to be able to speak in a way that they can feel how much you care, and they're going to be a little more receptive. Does this make sense?
Yes, very much. Strangest thing is, this month actually, I started on a journey of learning to meditate on a regular basis and actually work on focusing, on not just on my inward self, but focus on, just, I don't know how to explain it. See, there you go again, not being able to explain it, but, I think you know what I'm getting at. Get more connected to my surroundings and everything, and with the people I associate with and everything on a daily basis. And so the meditation has been helping, I think, and more or less aspects of my daily life. So I think I should probably keep working on that.
So, was this helpful?
Yes, it was very much.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
thank you,
calling
AJ.
and supporting the show, Ronald. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you, both of you. Have a good night. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Okay. Deep breath. We have other callers on the line. Well, we'll get to one now. We'll see how time goes. We may get to the other ones right after the break. But I'd like to invite Nicole from West Haven on the line. Hello, Nicole.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for calling the show. Did you have a question for Misty, or would you like her to give you a general reading?
Just kind of like a general reading. I did talk to her last year, and I've been through a lot of changes, so I just kind of want to touch base again.
Awesome.
Hi, Nicole. So, I understand you that I have spoken with you before on the show. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, just know that if something comes up again, because I don't remember what I share, just know that it's still relevant in some way. Okay?
Okay.
So, I'm just going to have you take a deep breath because your mind is pretty quick and I won't be able to speak that fast. So just take a deep cleansing breath. We just want to slow you down a little bit. Okay. Thank you. So, it's funny. You have a very, you're a glass is half full, living as a glass is half empty kind of person. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I really feel like I'm so optimistic. I'm so hopeful, but I can't help but being Debbie Downer, like doubt. Is that making sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
At the same time, like, this is what you've become very aware of that's not working for you. And I feel like there's been like going to school, as in just searching for things to help you move from that place of where you have been that you don't like being, so that you can start getting more to your truth and who you really are. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I feel okay. So you remind me of me a little bit. And I was just talking about this today with my mentor, and I mentioned it to AJ. In fact, I'm real good at hunkering down to get to work and try and fix things. But I like climb the mountain. I race to get to the end of something where I believe my happiness is. And then when I get there, it's like, okay, well, that's nice, but where's my happiness? And it's because I just bypassed it every step of my journey. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I feel like you've been creating some positive change, but you've kind of hit a brick wall. Would that be accurate?
Yes, I would.
So what that is as you talked yourself into taking that leap of faith and going out on a limb to create change in your life, when you would get something right or create change, even small change, you kept looking at it and going, but I'm not there yet. As in, I'm not at the goal of all of the change. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so then what starts happening is every time you see the little successes, you're like, okay, yeah, but I'm not there yet. Okay, yeah, like if you were driving from here to New York, every state you pass through, instead of going, wow, look where I've gotten, you're going, but I'm not in New York yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
So, say that again.
It makes a lot of sense. It's kind of my thought process.
So what's happened is your system said, well, if that's not good enough, why should I bother doing anything else?
Mm-hmm.
In essence, you've been sucking the joy out of the journey, and you're just tired of it. You're tired of the self beat up. You're tired of the nothing's ever good enough. But it's not. And that's why in places in your life, like with certain relationships, you're not feeling good enough. Like you don't feel like they treat you like you're enough. You feel like people are wanting more, even though you've given all you can at the moment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's an external situation that you're frustrated over. But the reality is it all starts inside. And the real frustration is Nicole's efforts are not enough for Nicole. They're never good enough for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so in order to get yourself through that brick wall or around it, over it, however you want to do that, I'm going to tell you, start putting on purpose the joy in the journey. Celebrate every little thing you do. You brush your teeth. Look what I just did. I'm consistent at brushing my teeth. Because you're developing self-trust is what I feel is the root of it all, is that you've lacked in self-trust. You haven't trusted yourself. So everything you've been doing has been geared around creating change that is at the root creating self-trust. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's be a little kid. Be so excited over everything you do. Celebrate it all.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So it's like if I were to give you you do this, it's going to have a domino effect for you. So it's just give yourself a toothache being so sweet to yourself.
Oh, I like
okay?
that. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Thank you so much. You helped me a lot through a lot of things last year, and I appreciate this.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. So we have a few callers on the line, but we go into commercial in 3 minutes, so I don't want to give them a short reading. So whoever's on hold right now, please be patient. We'll get to you right after the top of the hour. But until then, Misty, I am interested in knowing ways in which you would offer suggestions to all of us to be more mindful and connect to each other through everything that's going on and everything we talked about before the callers came in. We just have a couple of minutes, but I think it's so important that we don't lose touch with each other and what makes us us and forget the purpose and reason why we're here.
Well, I feel that I'm able to share the things I share with people as in some perspective and some suggestions for some tools to make some shifts for them, because I deal with those voices in the head that say you're not enough, that tell you, I can't even tell you how much growing up I've kept hearing, nobody wants to hear what you have to say in my head, that voice, that the critical voice, the stories. Yeah, exactly. And so we're really good at telling stories, and we tell stories all the time about the experiences we're having. And a lot of times what really causes us the most pain isn't the actual experience, it's the story we're telling about it. So one of the skills that I've developed for myself is to stop assuming. And my mom taught me, when we assume, we only make an ass of you and me. And what that is sometimes I'll have an interaction with somebody and I realize either my feelings feel hurt or I feel nervous that I've hurt their feelings. So I start asking questions. I was engaging with a friend, and afterwards I walked up to her and I said, "Did anything I said upset you?" And she's like, "No, did I give that impression?" And I was like, "No, it's just sometimes I get those thoughts, and I just wanted to make sure there was no validity to this. Because if we address that monster in the closet, it's not scary anymore."
Exactly.
But when we avoid it, we start avoiding people.
And we make the story much bigger than it really is.
Yes, we make it worse.
Our minds are so powerful.
They are. And now I've also started a new thing, because how many times do we have those thoughts that scare us, as in, because I don't want to be that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that thought that, be mean to that person or hurt myself or whatever it is we're thinking. So I've just started laughing at those thoughts, because I used to resist them because I was so scared, because I didn't want it to be true. And what we resist persists. So I started laughing at them because I don't want to take it serious anymore.
Right.
Thought management.
Thank you. Such good advice and solid at that. Thank you very much. We're going to take our top of the hour break. When we get back, you can be the next caller. Well, we have a couple, but you can be in after them if you call at 85-KGRA live. That's 855-472-5483. And we'll be right back.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. GetTheTea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years, and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's GetTheTea.com. GetTheTea.com. The tea that makes you go.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Welcome to the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. Here you'll find great new content, including the KGRA Classics, great shows from our archives. You'll be able to see the show times and information so you can see what show is currently on air. The on-air live button. So just go to this section and you'll be able to hear the show live with exceptional sound quality. We also have the Vault section. Make sure to subscribe to get access to great content and special features. We have the make content for our latest news and events, so make sure to sign up and you can be part of our forum. So make sure to check out the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. We look forward to seeing you there, and we hope that you enjoy the new website.
Now you have the inside contact for alternative talk radio. The Planet. KGRARadio.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soul Wandering. Heard here on KGRA Radio. You can find my show and all of the others by visiting KGRADB.com. That's KGRA Digital Broadcasting. And we would love to have you there with us. We're heard all over the world, and I'm having a hard time. What is going on, Misty? She just stares at me and I feel like she's sending me all kinds of stuff. But we're heard all over the world, and you can find us on so many listening platforms like iTunes, TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. And of course, remember kgradb.com. If you're interested in getting a reading tonight, the phone lines are open. There is a little bit of a wait, but we invite you to give us a call and get your intuitive reading from our guest tonight, Misty Rose Merck. She receives messages as thoughts, feelings, emotions, pictures, images, and angels. And you can ask her a specific question or for a general reading, which is my favorite. So call us at 85KGRA Live. That's 855-472-5483. In the meantime, we have a few callers on the line. So let's get right to them. Is that good for you, Misty?
Yes, it is.
I'd like to invite Emily from Utah on the lines. Hello, Emily.
Hi.
Thank you for calling in. Do you have a question for Misty, or would you like her to give you a general reading tonight?
A general reading.
Okay.
Hi, Emily. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Thank you for asking. Must be a theme because you got a busy mind too. Can you do me a favor and take a deep breath? Just deep, close your eyes, cleansing, just... Thank you. Just had to slow things down a little bit. So, it feels like you're empathic. Do you know that?
No,
Okay. Do you know what an empath is?
I do not.
Okay. So every human is born with a level of intelligence. That intelligence can be increased and decreased by choice. When someone's born with a great number or a large number of intelligence, they're considered a genius. Everybody's born with emotional intelligence. It can be increased and decreased by choice. When someone's born with a large amount of emotional intelligence, they're called an empath. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so when sympathy is to see someone in an experience and go, oh, that looks hard or difficult. Empathy is to see someone in the same experience and say, oh, I know how that feels. I've been through that. Empathic is to see someone in an experience and say, I know how you feel. I just don't know how I know. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can you understand that about yourself? That you kind of know how people feel and you don't know why?
Yeah, it does make sense, yes.
Feel emotions that doesn't make sense to your experience?
Yes.
At times getting overwhelmed when you're around a lot of people, especially strangers?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
The other thing is I feel like you experience anxiety. Would that be accurate?
Yes.
To the point that you find yourself isolating even though you want to engage with people, it just feels too uncomfortable?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're an empath, and I'll share some things with you, but I'm going to encourage you because right now, in not knowing, you're very affected by your gifts. So I'm going to encourage you to go learn about what an empath is and what being empathic means. Now you'll come across content, and that'll teach you some things. The question to ask as you learn what empaths are and being empathic, what that means, the question to ask yourself is, what does that look like for me? Because even though empaths can have similar gifts, it's expressed uniquely in each individual. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, that does.
So you're sponging emotions off of people in your immediate family. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's kind of like you get around people and sometimes you feel like a little bit of a chameleon. Sometimes when you're with people, you're feeling very drained because maybe you are feeling hopeful or optimistic, but you are with a family person who is pessimistic. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That you start to feel grumpy and irritable, even though that wasn't how you were feeling before. So what that is emotional sponging, is absorbing other people's emotions. So one of the other things that happens for you is people tell you some very personal things that you wouldn't necessarily tell people in your position. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Almost like confession. Because what happens is when people tell you stuff, they start to feel better.
Okay.
But the thing is you don't feel better, because what's happening is you're absorbing their stuff and then taking on things that don't belong to you and giving away your energy. Like you feel like you have to fix things for people a lot. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yes.
So what's happened is it's like you're feeling tired, almost like chronic fatigue.
Yeah.
And even though like you feel very creative, even artistically so. Like I see you either writing or drawing, because it's like I see what looks like a pencil in your hand. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
But you find yourself either you're doing it excessively or not doing it at all. It's very extreme. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's not satisfying. Even when you hyper focus on it, it's not satisfying. It feels like you can't quite get it right. That be accurate?
Yes.
Like you're not quite happy with your creations.
Yeah.
So what it is one, you're using it to process your emotions and your experiences and the energy that you feel overwhelmed by. But because all of this is out of balance and being done in unhealthy ways, it is designed, this artistic gift of yours is designed to help you process your life. And it's also a great gift for you to be able to express non-verbally very powerful things. But right now it's being abused, as in you're dumping and it's just because you're that overwhelmed. It's kind of a survival thing going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So if we could ground you, bring you back into balance, get some balance in your life and get you out of overwhelm, then you'd be able to enjoy it. And from that place, your creative spark would return and you'd start to love what you do. But what all of that is in essence, education. You've got to educate yourself on who you are and what you can do and understand what your gifts are. I don't want to go into trying to explain too much because I feel I would just overwhelm you, since you don't really have any base of knowledge yet other than what I've just given you. But there's some really good books. One's by Carol, so it's Carol with a K, Carol K. Truman, Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die. As an empath, feelings is the cornerstone of your gifts, and the more you can understand feelings and emotions, the more empowered you become. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, is another good one to understand. Both of them talk on thoughts and emotions, and they're very connected. So those are tools that would teach you some skills to move you from survival to living. And then, goodness gracious, trying to think. So there's a website, KathyTruman.com. She has some resources on empaths. But learn what an empath is. I mean, you can Google for free, but take everything with a grain of salt, because there's a lot of content out there that's filled with opinion. So look for the consistencies when you read content. Look where you see that same content repetitively. That's going to be more accurate. But educate yourself. And then self-love. because you're drowning in self-criticism because you're very sensitive. It's a gift you have. But when sensitivity has to pass through a lot of pain, fear, and doubt, like the things that you're experiencing right now, your sensitivity becomes criticism, and you become very self-critical. You turn on you before you will other people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's just going and just recognizing when you see that self-criticism, and just understand something triggered that behavior, and just start asking questions. I wonder what triggered that response, and then give yourself an extra measure of love. Pay yourself a compliment. Hug yourself. Tell yourself, I love you. And the more you do that, you'll develop self-trust. That'll increase your self-confidence, and that can help you start navigating the waters of your experience so you don't drown or feel like you're drowning. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
There's a lot more I could share with you, but there's just not enough time in the show. So thank you for calling. Was that helpful?
Yeah, it was. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling in. And for future reference, we do have an empath class coming up that Misty will be teaching, and where you're actually here in the county, it would be a really good class for you to attend. You can email me. Do you have a pen and paper, Emily?
I do, yep.
Okay, connect@soulwanderings.com. And I will send me an email, and I will get you the information for that, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful night.
You too, bye.
Bye-bye. We receive a lot of calls from empaths.
Yeah.
A lot of new empaths also. But do you feel like everyone's an empath? Could you give that message to anybody?
Well, like I said, everybody's born with intelligence. Everybody's born with emotional intelligence. And those things can be increased and decreased by choice. Yeah, some people are born geniuses. Some people are born empathic. They're they're just innately born with a boosted higher level, as it were. But through choice, you can develop those gifts. You can develop your intelligence. You can develop your emotional intelligence. So I definitely feel it's something that can be said to anybody. Now, having said that, there's the energetic energies that have been happening. Those things have been boosting people. So your gifts have been boosted. People who weren't necessarily what we would call an empath, their emotional intelligence was increased.
That makes a lot of sense. That does. Are you ready for your next caller?
Definitely.
Wonderful. I'd like to invite Sarah from Vancouver on the show. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi. How are you this evening?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you so much for your patience. Do you have a question for Misty, or would you like her to give you a general reading?
I think I'm just going to do a general reading tonight.
Wonderful.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So, it's funny. I just had a heavy, deep breath. So, okay. So you have a very, you're a very caring person. You're a Care Bear on steroids. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you're very caring, and you have a very sweet heart. And you look for the good in people, and you look for the good in life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I try to.
But I feel like there's something that's been weighing on you that's kind of been making you feel like your energy feels heavy and a little sad. Would that be accurate?
Very.
Say that one more time.
Yes, very, very accurate.
She said exactly.
Okay. So, okay. So what it feels like is trying to make sense of what I'm getting. Okay, so I feel like, and this is where, but just I'm interpreting what I perceive. So if something is off, don't make it fit. Just receive what feels right and true. When you let me know if something does or doesn't fit, that just lets me know to reinterpret the content. Okay.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I feel like it feels like caring about somebody who is in turbulent waters or in a dark place. Does this make sense?
No, I'm married. My husband, he's good. He's happy and
okay. So
he's
I just
not troubled. Are you troubled, babe?
And this is where don't make it fit. I just am trying to interpret something that feels unfamiliar.
Well, what happens, just a little explanation, Misty, you get things and your interpretation, like you may see the color blue, but to her, she sees the color green, but it's still the same thing. So it's just a rebalancing of the words, right?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, that's one way to describe it. I just, so we'll just pull back for a second and say, I just feel like you're going through something. You feel the energy feels heavy, and maybe this is your relationship with yourself, but I just feel like things are not, because you're such a happy person, like your nature's to be happy. It feels like you're not able to be who you really are at the moment. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, very.
Okay, so then perhaps this relationship is a relationship with yourself, that you're in turbulent waters as the individual. Does that make sense that way?
Yeah. Like I've been like really depressed the last couple of months, and I don't really know where it's coming from because.
So those are the turbulent waters. Those are the emotions. That's that dark place. So then the relationship is yourself. This is what you're going through, the relationship that you have with yourself. So you're saying you don't know what's causing the depression. Would that be accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you know that you're an empath?
Yes.
Okay. So as an empath, as humans, there's a couple of things that can cause depression. Okay. We can only physically live in the present moment, and the past is a fixed point in time. Over focus of the past is like being in a speeding boat and suddenly dropping anchor. So, another thing, though, as an empath, and every human being does this too, we depress feelings. We suppress them, emotions. But you are, as an empath, you're feeling emotions that aren't yours, and you're feeling overwhelmed by them. And so the coping mechanism is to suppress them, depress them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there are empaths whose, we'll say, their gifts allow them to feel people in the home they live in. Then there's larger buildings where they can feel the emotions of people in that building. There's people who can feel their neighborhood, the city, a state, a country, the world. So you're a very gifted empath. I don't know how much you understand about your gift, but there's an ability with empaths where they can feel emotions from people who are no longer in a space, like walking into a room, and even though there's nobody in the room, something just doesn't feel right. It feels yucky. Or you walk into a space and it just feels inviting and it feels good. That's energy. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
And Now, as an empath, like we were talking about earlier, the energetic boosts that have been happening in the world, empaths, their gifts have been growing without their intention. It's just you've been boosted. So it's like, say your radio was able to pick up local stations and now it can pick up national stations. Your gift has been boosted, so now you're picking up more things. And if you haven't been developing the gift, that can feel overwhelming because you're having an emotional roller coaster ride that isn't logical, because you're having emotions that aren't in relation to your personal experiences. Does this make sense? And so, in essence, I'm going to say, not learning about your gift and developing it it's a choice, but it's leaving you in a compromised position. At the very least, I would say learn how to filter out other emotions so that you're not left feeling so overwhelmed. Because what's happening is I feel like it's causing the feeling overwhelmed by emotions that aren't yours. Is when you shut down, you're not just shutting down that stuff, you're shutting down your own personal emotions, and it's causing disconnect in your relationships where you want to connect with people you care about, but you feel unable to. Does that make sense? And so it's just you're an emotional overwhelm. And what I feel the trigger is it's your gift as an empath. And it's because you're not fully understanding your gift that you're left feeling so affected and impacted. Because especially, like you were saying, especially these last couple of months, I actually feel like this is something that was started before, but it was manageable. It's just now it's reached a tipping point where it stopped being manageable and now you're suffering. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you were just enduring it because you could, and now you've reached the too much tipping point, and now you're in overwhelm, and now you can't endure it, so now you have to deal with it. You can't ignore it anymore. So I would suggest breathing meditation. Something that, because you're in fight or flight pretty strong right now and you're holding your breath, you're breathing shallowly. It's like just now, it's like when I'm talking to you, I get like I'm holding my breath and I've got to make myself breathe. So it's, in Hebrew, breath and spirit is the same word. You can go days without food and water. You can only go minutes without air. So connecting you back to breath is going to be have a powerful effect and impact for you. The meditation part is going to slow your mind down because you have a very vivid mind. Like you could do visualizations. You can see things in your mind. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because one of the gifts you have is claircognizance. That's clear knowing. And you get images in your mind when people talk. Like you can see the experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and feel it.
Yeah, you can. The other thing is, and this is part of the reason why you're such overwhelmed. Everybody has multiple gifts, okay? But there's strengths and weaknesses in those gifts. So they're at varying levels. And then you get some who have a lot of big gifts, and you're one of those persons. Like there are times when you're picking up on somebody's thoughts. So like a very close relationship, you'll finish sentences for people, or you'll say, "What did you say?" And they said, "I wasn't saying anything." The other thing is clairaudience, meaning you hear stuff when, like, you swear somebody called your name, but nobody did. So you just have a lot of big gifts, And previously, you had some awareness, but you just kind of didn't really want to deal with it or delve into it. And now you're being put in a you can embrace willingly, or it can happen to you. But in essence, you just have some pretty big gifts, and you're picking up on energy, because it's not just emotions. You're picking up on a lot of energy. That's the thoughts you pick up on. That's the images you're getting. You're getting intuitive messages, like you feel to say things to people, but you hold it back. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel a lot of throat irritation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's because you're holding back your words, which are those messages. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you're the one who gets to decide what being an empath means for you. But in not making a choice, then choices are made for you. So you don't have to do anything with your gifts. It is a choice. But while you sit on the fence, choices are made for you. So if you decide that you don't want to engage, then get yourself to a place to filter your experiences and then make your choice. That way, the energy knows how to engage with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Was this helpful?
Yeah, that's cool. Yes, it was. Thank you so much. That was really cool.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling and listening to the show. You have a beautiful night.
Thanks, you too.
It's still every single time I wonder how it is even humanly possible to connect to someone that's not sitting right here in front of you. It's really neat.
I think it is too. I love it. I mean, again, separation, distance, illusionary things.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're all connected.
It's neat, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We have another caller. Are you ready, dear?
Yes, I am.
All right. Please welcome Drew from Riverton to the show. Hello, Drew.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really good.
Wonderful. So do you have a specific question for Misty, or would you like a reading in general?
Just a reading in general.
Awesome.
Hi, Drew. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm just going to ask you if you can just be mindful to speak up while you're communicating with us.
Okay.
You're really cute. You have okay. So it feels like you're very comfortable being in your mind, as in, being a thought-based, logic-based person, but you're just a big old teddy bear.
I try to be, I guess.
You are. I mean, it's not always easily expressed. Like, I feel like you're not verbally able to express emotions, but you feel like a very touchy-feely person. Does that make sense?
That makes 100% sense, yes.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the 5 love languages, but your major language is touch, even though you can be a very verbal person.
Right.
So I'm going to say, so just like we can have majors and minors in education and school, we can also have double majors. I feel like verbal was a minor love language that became a major love language because you're not comfortable being emotional. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so when you are with people that you feel safe with, you're very touchy-feely. When you're with people that you're not safe with, you're very verbal.
Yeah, that's correct.
Now, I'm going to say when you're with people that you care about, I feel Okay, so the love languages, there's different love languages, and sometimes there's love languages that can complement and love languages that feel very opposite. And I feel like some very close relationships are opposite love languages. And because they are, sometimes you interpret that as they don't care or they don't want your affection. Does this make sense?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So what it is you're speaking your love language and they just don't speak that language. And the way you interpret that experience is you take it very personal and internalize it and take it to mean that they don't want you. And that's not actually the case. They just don't communicate that way emotionally or love-based. Does this make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So it's one, talk yourself off the cliff, meaning stop taking it personal that they have a different love language. So in our immaturity, we give love the way we want to receive it. In our maturity, we give it the way the other person wants to receive it. And right now, you didn't know about this stuff, so you have been giving love the way you want to receive it. But because their love language is so different, they weren't able. It's like you're speaking English and they're speaking Chinese. And so the connection isn't happening. The love connection's not happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then your feelings are getting hurt. And because your feelings are hurt, what happens is you pull back and stop engaging. Like you create physical distance.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then they get upset because they feel like, why are you pulling back? Why don't you care? And then it's just this whole misinterpretation, misunderstanding.
Right.
So when you have these kinds of experiences where people aren't receptive to your love language, stop making it mean they don't want my love.
Right.
Instead, start investigating what their love language is. And if you haven't read the book, I think that would be a great resource because there's words, which you have, and touch. There's time. So people want your time. Then there is gifts and acts of service.
Yeah.
And there might be something else, or that might be the way all of them lay out to be 5. But there's just like their love language is just different. And so learning what the different languages are, you'll be able to understand, oh, this is how they perceive. Like if I did this, it would mean I love you. Does that make sense?
Right.
So like, are you married?
No, me and my girlfriend, we've been together for 6 years.
So that's like a relationship that would be, not that you're married, but it's just that long-term relationship feeling that I was getting. So sure. One thing to do is sit down with her and write out a list. It's 10 things that if I did these 10, actually you just write. Sorry. So you each write a list that if you were to do this for me, what I would feel is loved. And then you would give your list to her, that if she did these things for you, you would feel loved. And she gives you her list that if you do that for her, she feels loved. And then what you do is you whittle the list down to the top 5 or top 10, meaning first, if there's anything on the list, and this is where you guys treat each other with unconditional love, if there's anything on the list that you know you cannot do, the other person doesn't get offended.
Right.
And then you look and say, be honest. What can I do? What do I want to do? What am I willing to do? And then you create a top 5 or 10 list You write a new list yourself that these are things I can do, things I want to do, things I'm willing to do. And then at least once a week, you pick something from that list and you do it for the other person. No expectations, meaning when I do this, there is no expectation of reciprocation or anything, because I'm simply expressing my love by doing something they love. That's it. Yeah. When you do that, what you're going to create is trust. You're going to trust each other. And that's going to help open up communication when there's a hard conversation. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
But it's just talk yourself off the ledge. When somebody isn't understanding your love language, it doesn't mean they don't want your love. They just don't speak that language.
Yeah. I thought my love language was the only love language.
Say that one more time.
I'm just kidding. I said I thought my love language was the only love language.
So I'm going to tell you, you've got a powerful gift of discernment, as in, when something's true. You don't necessarily have to have it explained why it's true. You just know it is. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, the flip side to this superpower is that energy, when it passes through faith, love, and trust, it shows up as discernment. When it passes through pain, fear, and doubt, it becomes judgment. And you get really hard on yourself. You beat yourself up with a judgment stick. Does that make sense?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna invite you, because being in judgment is paralyzing. You get stuck. Mm-hmm. You start procrastinating. You can't seem to get something finished. You're not meeting deadlines, or you're not getting something done when it's due. Does this make sense?
Yep.
And it's because you've paralyzed yourself with judgment. So what I'm going to invite you to do is, whenever you catch judging thoughts happening, you just notice it and go, I wonder what caused this. I wonder what triggered this. And when you do that, that's going to move you from judgment to curiosity. And curiosity is opening energy. So it's going to open you up. And then as you ask that question, you're going to start seeing. It's going to give you information. It's going to give you answers. So act on what you get, meaning if there's anything you can shift, change, or improve, do so when you get the answer. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Now, what that's going to do is it's going to get you out of procrastination, and it's going to get you into action. And that's going to open up some money opportunities for you, because I feel like that's something that's been feeling stagnant or what's the dang word? I was getting ready to say it. Stagnant, or, well, we'll just stick with that. But anyway, when you get out of procrastination, you're going to start getting into opportunity.
Right.
Okay? Was that helpful?
No, that's crazy, actually. You just explained me to a T.
I do crazy. You're in luck.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, man.
What a great laugh.
That was really
Thank you so much for calling into the show.
Because I'm happy.
Appreciate your support.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Okay, you too.
That laugh was so good. You had such a good laugh.
Thank you.
I before the show, I had a good laugh. That was a good medicine laugh. I laughed really hard. And I haven't laughed that hard in I don't know how long, but it was
the last time I was here.
That was pretty hard. I laugh a lot more these days. It's such a good feeling.
Good medicine.
So good. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about chocolate in chat room and got my attention. I got all excited. I'm a sucker for some chocolate.
I heard chocolate's very grounding. So yeah.
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, so when I teach my intuitive paint nights, or we do art journaling or whatever it looks like, I always have chocolate. Like, have a piece of chocolate. Let's ground ourselves. That's like the best way for grounding and a great excuse to eat some chocolate.
Definitely.
I spent most of my life not liking chocolate.
What?
I know. I was weird. It wasn't until I don't know. I think it was when I got pregnant. That's 21 years ago. But I didn't like it growing up like I like it now.
Blinked and 21 years went by just like that.
It did. It does.
Did. Yeah.
It really does.
I know.
You know, Misty, I just want to share with everyone. This is very private, and not very often do I share my experiences on the show. It's always about everyone else. But this is about the experience you and I had together right before the show. Like we were getting the countdown and weren't in our seats yet. I've been working on some things, major things energetically from my whole life, like trauma, really working through some PTSD and things like that. And it's not through a form of therapy where I talk about my experiences. Actually, quite opposite. I take lots of deep breaths and get very clear and in the moment. And the doctor that works with me is an energy medicine doctor, and he practices a technique called neuromodular technique. And for those of you who are interested, I will have him on the show in February. However, aside from that, the shifting that's occurring in my body, I feel physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, in every way possible. Yet I can't really put my finger on what's going on or what is actually healing inside of my body. I just feel and know it to be true because I feel the shift. And when we were waiting for the show to go on air tonight, you had pointed out some things to me that I found just fascinating because you know very little about the depths of what I'm experiencing. We haven't really sat down and talked about it. Yet you pulled it out and immediately knew exactly where the pain was coming from, where I'm having a lot of pain this week, and the reason why. And for anyone listening, this ability, this gift that you have, Misty, it's indescribable to me. You help so many people, myself included. And tonight, where things just happened so fast, I didn't get the opportunity to thank you, but what a better platform to do it than here and now, where you've assisted me on so many levels, and you have helped so many people in my space at Vibes and here across the world, where people are calling in from all over the place to receive messages from you. And I just think, wow, we really are so blessed to have you here with us each and every month. And I'm so grateful for the time and an investment that you make and give to us every month to offer these readings as a gift. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just in such deep gratitude. I love my gifts. I love who I get to show up in the world as, and I love being able to walk with people, soul wanderings. I get to wander with other souls for a little bit of their journey. I get to walk and maybe shine a little light and say, things aren't quite what you think they are. They're better than they seem. You're better than you know. Mm-hmm. Life is better than you've dreamed. And I feel blessed because I get to see people, and people are willing to trust me, a complete stranger, and be vulnerable and open and let me see their heart. They let me see what makes them tick. They let me feel their pain. They let me wipe their tears. They let me laugh with them. They let me enjoy their story. And I'm just honored. There's a friend of mine. She's called the Heart Whisperer. And her and we've talked, and, we've both said the heart is sacred ground. And it's a holy place. And I get to stand there. I get to stand there, and I get to hold someone's heart and help them through whatever it is going on that has kept them from feeling loved or knowing how loved they are, from being able to express the love they are. I have seen angels. I've seen beings of light. I've seen light in people, around people, shining from people. Like right now, you are all lit up like a Christmas tree. And when you started stumbling over your words and you were talking about my energy, well, it's because I saw an angel in the corner of the room, and it was just big and bold and bright and full of so much power and love, and it was here for you. And
no wonder I couldn't speak. That happens often.
Yeah.
But I also do feel very loved and watched over.
Oh, yeah. That angel has a sword, so you're very watched over. And so is your son, as we've discussed before. So
thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot of change is happening. And you're a chain breaker. And right now you've been allowing yourself to be vulnerable and dig deep and break some chains. Things that have been going on in your family and your generational line. And in order to do that work, you've sacrificed some energy and time and put yourself into a very vulnerable place. And to honor that, there are many, many angels about you, protecting you at this time as you're going about doing the work that you're doing. And angels are coming into your life, both in a body and energetically speaking. People are showing up for you to help you through the experience. And doors are being opened, and you're working magic.
I feel it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the validation, because you hope for that and you long for that, but having someone else see and feel that it is occurring like you feel is happening for you is really neat. And I really do appreciate you, and I say it all of the time. I don't know another word to share with you my gratitude.
It's love. You love me, and you share your love with me so much that I feel love.
Yeah, I really do. I love you so much. And this whole entire journey has been, it's been intense, but I can't help but not feel overwhelmed with gratitude. I'm supported and loved, and this show, this is a really great place for me to share, because not to take it away from you and what you were sharing. I appreciate all of that. But, this is my last show of the year. And wow, I'm going to get all weepy on everybody. This is not something I do. But, like with everything in life, you really take inventory. I mean, if you're doing the work, you take a daily inventory or weekly inventory and really ask what you're doing. Like, what am I doing in life? Is it important? And am I needed in the world? And there are days that I have I've even wondered about this show, Soul Wanderings. And specifically on those days where I'm wondering, do I keep doing the show? Are people listening? Do they enjoy it? Do they like my guests? Do they want to have an experience of their own? Are they growing because of what they hear from all of these brave people who share their stories? Specifically on those days, I'm always reminded, like through an email or a comment in the chat or by a guest who shares something that hits me right in the heart, that I know that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I know that I'm meant to be here sharing with you, with our listeners, and I have this amazing platform, KGRA, with supportive producers and these amazing listeners who support me and send me messages and tell me. And I have these brave guests who come and share really vulnerable and authentic pieces of themselves, right? How does it get any better than that? And I find myself in infinite gratitude for all of this love and support. Like, I get overwhelmed like this because I just feel it so hard. So, I appreciate you like I've expressed, and I appreciate all the support and love I get doing this show. Like, I'm reminded weekly that what myself and my guests have to share is important and that it helps the listeners. And you can't put a price on that. This is definitely a labor of love, and I am so happy to do it.
Good.
So, thank you, everyone. I am going to get off my little crybaby soapbox, but this is authentic, and I really do love and appreciate you all.
You needed it, and somebody else needed to hear it. That's the other thing.
It's so amazing when you have all of this.
Yeah.
And I have a beautiful heart-centered healing space that you get to be a part of, and we have so many incredible people there who really genuinely love what they're doing, and they're so passionate about it. And we don't make a lot of money doing what we do, but there is so much love, and we are always taken care of. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful way of being, having that as my job, and this is my fun thing to do once a week. It's like blessings are abundant.
Yeah. Well, you just were sitting and talking about 2020 and 2021, and AJ, everybody's struggling to feel if their life matters in all kinds of ways.
It's true.
So you just talked on everybody's pain. You just spoke. You were just a voice for everybody who's struggling, and they needed to know they weren't alone, and you just showed them in the most beautiful way possible. And I just hope everybody inundates your email with how much you matter and how much you showing up and doing this show matters, to the point that they just break your email because you need to know. You need to know that everything you do is amazing, and you bring magic, and everything you touch has a little magic in it, and you're making a difference. I mean, if I spoke on just myself, goodness, your show's not long enough. And that's just me. I know there's many other people who've been in your store and been on this show and listened and just interacted with you. So,
isn't it awesome?
It is.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, awesome. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We like, it feels surreal that this is the end of a year for me here on the station, and I'm going into my 5th year of this show, and a couple of years on the station, and it's just so cool. Like, it's just so cool. I just love it. Anyway, we'll close up the show, you guys. It's just been really awesome to share another year with you. I'm in so much gratitude, if I haven't expressed that enough already. If you guys are interested in learning more about myself and the show, you can visit soulwanderings.com, as well as go to the new website, kgradb.com. So that's digital broadcasting. And I would love and appreciate you sharing the show with your friends and family. Like I always say, it's just so neat when we can come together and support one another and share our experiences and have these conversations that bring us closer together. It's a beautiful thing. Misty, do you have any closing words? Where can people reach you and all of that good stuff?
My website is mistyroseshealing.com. My email address is mistyroseshealing@gmail.com. And if you are excited to hear what I do personally and work with me, you can reach out to me. I am making changes to my website and changing services and prices next year. So if you've been thinking about working with me, but you've been sitting on the fence, you can reach out to me for a 10-minute reading to see if it's something that you're interested in doing for a longer session, or you can take advantage of this year's prices for a full session because next year they will be increasing.
Well, I'm so glad that you gave that information. Again, everyone, I highly recommend you reach out to her. And before we go, because it is the last show of the year for me, I wish you all the happiest holiday season. And then we'll catch up next year. How about it, Wanderers? Good night for now.